In this video, I wanted to give you guys a tour of my 85 square foot home YouTube studio. This is where I shoot all my videos. I wanted to share with you guys how I've been able to get some different YouTube setups in this small office space and how I've been able to optimize and make things as efficient as possible for my workflow. So I got 5 tips for you guys, 5 really cool things that I've been able to learn while working in this small YouTube studio.
You gotta just press record.
Hey guys, my name is Noel Molt with Think Media, and yes, this is an 8.5 by 10 foot room, which is pretty small. And so I got my office in here. This is where I work all day for Think Media, and I shoot my videos in here, I edit in here, I do everything inside of this office. And so I'm excited to share some of the tips that have been able to help me make things as efficient as possible. The number one thing that I did for this space that really created so much more space in this room was taking my entire YouTube setup and putting it onto one stand. Now I actually have an entire video breaking down this YouTube studio on a stand that you guys can click on the screen and watch that. But I'm telling you, this thing just makes things so much easier because it opens up so much space because you have your light, your mic, your camera, and even a phone holder all on one stand. And I just leave this thing set up in the corner of the room at all times, and it makes it so easy. Because this thing is so small and I can tuck it in the corner, being able to just pull it out, throw my camera on top of it, and start filming right away has been a game changer for me, as well as opening up the space. My second tip for you guys, if you have a small office setup, would be to invest in a wide angle lens. Now you'd be really surprised how much this actually opens up the room for you because you can get closer to the camera. Now before I was using something a bit tighter and I had to back away from the camera a lot, and it just made everything feel like I couldn't move around because I was so far away from the camera. I was kind of backed up into my desk. But now that I got this wide angle lens, right now I'm using the Sony a7S Mark III with the 20mm 1.8 lens. I can touch the camera right here, so I'm just an arm's length away, and this really opens up the room. I feel like I can move around and shoot anywhere in this room. A wide angle lens also has that kind of YouTube aesthetic, and it really makes the room feel a lot bigger. When Tony on the Think Media team came over for the first time, I remember he was shocked with how small this room was. And it's because that wide angle lens just really makes it feel so big because you can see a lot more through this lens. Now this third tip is really cool, and we got this from our friend Omar on the Think team, and it's the photo backdrop. So believe it or not, I shoot all my thumbnails in this office space. I just have these paper rolls on the ceiling, and I can roll them down and shoot photos. I can shoot B-roll, and then when I'm done, all I gotta do is bring it back up, and it's basically out of the way. It's tucked up in the ceiling, up in the corner, and it's never getting in the way. And it's so useful to just pull down on the strings, have them come down, pull them back up, and boom, it's gone. You wouldn't even know that they're in here. It just wouldn't be realistic for me to have stands set up in here and to do a paper drop on some stands. And so actually having these just mounted on the wall has been a game changer for me, and is so nice because I don't use those backdrops all the time, but when I do want to use them, it's very quick, very easy, and out of the way. Now before we get to the fourth and fifth tip, like this video and then comment down below. Let me know if you have a small office, and add anything in the comments down below that has helped you make your office space better. I would love to hear your ideas. Now my fourth tip for you guys is actually to pick up one of these. This is a small rig clamp, and the other piece to this is, right now it's on top of my camera, but it's this 11-inch articulating arm, and this thing is really, really cool. And how I use this is when I'm sitting at my desk back here, I can put this on the shelf and then connect it to my camera, and this gives me a really cool shot of me while I'm doing any sort of screen recordings, any sort of tutorials on my computer. This gives me a really cool camera angle, but it's also great for live streaming, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. You don't need a stand, you don't need a tripod, you need nothing but this tiny little piece, this arm, and it holds up your camera great. It's very sturdy, and so I definitely recommend picking up one of these. You'd be surprised how often this comes in handy if you want to mount something like a shotgun microphone or something like a camera. It's very useful.
And this is what the camera looks like as a webcam. And you can see it looks awesome. And the really cool thing is that this did not take long to set up. Like, this does not take up much space at all. And the articulating arm is so useful. I can use it to set up a webcam like this for my live streams or my Zoom calls, or I can use it to mount a microphone. There's just a lot of uses when it comes to this setup, but I love how I can just throw my camera up here and start live streaming. And speaking of live streaming, this video is brought to you by StreamYard. This is our go-to platform for live streaming to YouTube and to Facebook, especially when we're bringing multiple people onto the stream. What I love about StreamYard's interface is it's so easy to use, especially for doing cool transitions, bringing text on the screen, or even bringing guests onto the live stream. This really is the perfect platform for new creators as well as experienced creators who are ready to level up their live streams. And the best part is you can use the link in the description to get $10 off your first month. All right, now let's get to our next tip.
All right, my fifth tip for you guys is to focus on the acoustics of your room. Now, with a small room, you would think that the acoustics would be good because it's small, and so there shouldn't be like a lot of echo, but that's just not true. It's actually kind of hard to get the acoustics right in a small room, especially when you can't put furniture in here. So if you have a couch or something in your office, that's gonna help a lot with those acoustics. But in a room like this, you just don't have the space to put in these big items. And so here's some of the hacks that I've done to make my office sound a lot better. The first one is to throw down a rug. Now, especially if you have wooden floors, this is going to help absorb a lot of that echo in the room just by throwing down a nice rug. Now, the second thing that I've done is I bought this moving blanket. I think it was like $15 on Amazon. I'm gonna have it linked down in the description below, but this really helped block a lot of the echo that was coming off of the walls. And so what I did was I cut some holes in it. I threw it on those command strips that you can just put right on the wall. And this thing hangs up when I shoot videos, and it's really easy to take down, fold it up, throw it in the closet. But this thing really helps so much with collecting that echo and absorbing it into the blanket, so you're not getting crazy echo while shooting your videos. The nice thing is this has a black side and a white side, so if you want to bounce light off of the white side, you can do that. But for me, I like to use the black side so that it's not bouncing any extra light and I can really keep my light contained. But this thing really is a game changer because it's so cheap and it's so light that it's easy to throw on some stands, or if you are in the small space like me, those command strip hooks are really easy if you just put some holes in it. And I mean, they're so cheap, you just might as well pick some up. Even just throwing some of those on the ground would be fantastic because that's gonna help a lot with the sound too. And then again, you can just fold them up, put them in the closet when you're done. If you guys wanna see some really cool home office ideas, then check out Omar's video by clicking on the screen right now. See you guys in the next video.